So let's start with one of the easiest ways to speak in the past tense in Spanish. Using the words estaba, estuve, estuvimos, etc. These are only 5 words. They're very distinct, relatively easy to remember because nothing else sounds like them. And you can tape the list of those 5 words to your wall, look at it every day for a week, for a month, however long you need to take until you remember them. So one of the easiest ways to speak in the past tense in Spanish is start your sentence with estaba, estuve, estuvimos, one of those 5 words, which means we were or I was, right? Estaba, estuve, those 5 words are the equivalent of the words was and were in English. Because in English, I was, she was, he was, it was. So the word was in your English brain implies a singular person, past tense. And were is used for the plural persons, we, they, you plural, etc. So those 2 words in English are the equivalent of those 5 words in Spanish, and every single word signals to you who was doing the action. Estaba is I, estuviste is you, estuvimos is we, etc., etc. So that list of 5 words. You can download them off the internet, or you can, buy them from me. I already done the work for you, whatever you choose. Next, you start your sentence with one of those 5 words, which literally means I was at a location or doing an action. Okay. These are derived from estar, which is the temporary quality, which translates to English as the verb to be. To be in a location, be at home, at the gym, be at work, be on the road, or doing an action. I was cooking, he was sleeping, she was cleaning the pool, they were buying new shoes, right? He was studying, she was doing homework, they were taking a shower. So just like in English, when I say I was or they were, your brain starts like, oh, that's the past tense, that happened in the past. So when you say one of those 5 words in Spanish, that signals to the listener that you mean the past tense. It also works the same way. It's a 2-lane highway, right? So when you hear somebody says one of those words to you, you understand that all of it happened in the past. And again, one of the little known secrets about it is that it always opens the sentence. It's typically the first word in a new sentence. And that just signals our brain the whole thing was in the past. And it's only a list of 5 words you can remember. Now, this is deceivingly simple. And I'm not telling you the whole truth. I'm holding one piece back. That one piece is that there are actually 2 versions. If I had to give you the full list, it would be a list of 10 words. But I don't want to confuse you. It's very difficult for most people to remember 10 new words at once. So we're going to break them down to 5 words. When you get those 5, you can move on to the next 5. And the difference between them is whether the action was done in the past and is now over, or was the action done in the past and is still ongoing, or is affecting what's happening today or in the future. For example, I was at my parents' house all weekend and it was a blast. Or I was living in Paris-Hana when I was in school, right? Or I was living in New York City in my 20s. You lived in New York City in your 20s, but that's done and over with. You just like mention it in passing and there's nothing new to say about it and you just move on with the subject, okay? Versus, I was married for 15 years. I was a nurse for 10 years. We were living in Ohio for 25 years. Those are like longer things, or they might very well affect what's happening now. If you lived in the Midwest for 20, 30 years, you're pretty much a Midwesterner, right? If you lived in New York City for 5 years, now you're not really a New Yorker. If you spent 5 years in New York and 25 years in Ohio, you are not a New Yorker. That's my logic anyways. So we use estaba, estuve, those 5 words we use exclusively to imply that you were at a location or you were doing an action. Also, emotions. Emotions are actions in Spanish, they're verbs. So I loved, I hated, I was angry, I was sad, I was crying, I was sick, I was seasick, I had highness sickness. What was that? Never mind. So sick, healthy, happy, you know, angry, sad. Those are emotions which AI, they're verbs in Spanish. Estaba muy cansada. I was very tired. Ayer, yesterday. Estuvimos en el cine. We were at the cinema. Estuve en Nueva York. They were in New York. Mi esposo estaba en Colorado. My husband was in Colorado. Estuve en el super. I was in the supermarket. Estaba buscando nueva casa. He was looking for a new house. Okay, so estaba, that list of 5 words. I'm gonna, if I'm gonna put it on Facebook, I'll put that list below. All you have to do is remember those 5 words and start your sentence with them. Let me know how it works for you. Good luck.